All right, that's me. All right, here we go. Peace, peace. What's up with you? Peace, peace, Sister Tracy. Peace, Sister Sheila. How y'all doing? Know what I'm talking about? Okay, I'm loud and clear. Where I'm coming in clear. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, good to see y'all come out, whatnot. Um, peace, your foreship. Um, we got his foreship up in the building. Welcome. I am what? Gamma Epsilon Beta. Up in here, drone. I was manufactured at the floor plant in Chicago. You know what I'm talking about? Well, we don't act right. They put too much alcohol and maybe lean and I failed all the courses. You know what I'm talking about? I couldn't get right. They didn't know what to do with me. My model is flawed. Let's just put it like that. Yeah. Your worship, I would say the same thing. I could have stunned the whips. I don't have my Shakespeare on point like he do. But I knew what he was talking about. I knew the quotes, and I'm like, oh, that's from Hamlet. That's from Romeo and Juliet. That's from. I don't think he did in King Lear, but hey, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so peace, everyone, peace. I would like to welcome y'all to the Model T F-150 Missionary Baptist Church. Praise His Lordship. You know what I'm talking about. We have a few announcements. Coming this weekend, we are having the Disco Jamboree Ball in tribute to Donna Summer. We will be playing all the classics. Toot toot, A, beep beep. And I would just like to say, save me some of that artificial jambalaya. I need my fake shrimp and artificial bulldog sausages. I'm just saying, and I also want to say that the new Philly that's coming out is real high girl shit. The Life and Times of Megan Thee Stallion. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be good. But peace, everybody. Okay. I had to make all the few jokes that I wanted to. We're gonna get into A Brave New World Part 2. We already know that this was made in 1980, so I don't have to explain all that. So we're just gonna go into it. Well, it starts off with Thomas holding a meeting with his staff of the Central Hatchery, right? And he's basically calling them together, saying that he's going against Bernard. He's trying to get Bernard transferred to Iceland, and he's trying to plead his case of why he's doing it. He's saying that Bernard's been seen alone on more than one occasion. He hasn't attended high holy orgy sex services, and he's only engaged with 3 females in the last year. And in the movie they like, oh, but yeah, but in this scene, you can see that in order to basically cunningly takeout Bernard. Thomas is hiding behind the culture to get him transferred. You know, so Bernard comes in and yeah, the very indeed, yes. Um, Peace system auction. So Bernard comes in and he's like, yeah, let everybody see. Um, I don't mind, and he's playing it real cool, right? And all of a sudden, I want everybody to see this, and so he ups and bring Peace sister Queer. He ups and bring out Linda. Linda is old, but they found her a beta uniform, and she comes in and was like, "That's my Tommykin. Where is he?" And she hugs Thomas, and he's like, "Get away from me, you dog." I was say he was like, "Get away from me, bitch!" He was like, "Get away from me." Like, don't you remember me? I'm your Lindakin. Like, who is this awful creature? What I'm talking about. And then John comes out and he's like, "Hello, father." And then everybody just starts busting out laughing. And they start laughing at Thomas. And Thomas is, can't handle the laughter. And so he goes to his foreship, Mustafa Man's office, and he's like, "Oh, the shame. I don't understand. I attend orgy sex services. I mean, I do everything, to the letter, And he blames Bernard. He's like, "Man, it's all his fault." And it causes Thomas to put in oh yes, pieces did. Yeah, he was he was clutching them pearls real tight. And he's it makes him just willingly put in the transfer to Iceland. And then as he tries to go out one way, they tell him Linda and wait, John is out there, your son John, and he's like, "Oh no, 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 no." No, he's all distraught. And Mustafa tells his secretary, "Take him out the other way," and he goes out the other way. And then here's Bernard like, "Man, oh, the horror of it! I just can't believe it." And Mustafa's like, calling him on his bullshit, like, "Oh yeah, you were really distraught about that." That's why Mustafa's about. Brian O'Neill played the hell out that character. I'm just gonna say it right now. He was like, "Yeah, you real distraught about it." And after that, Mustafa leaves Bernard in charge of John. Provided that he gives regular reports directly to him. And after that, Bernard pretty much, "Oh, my name is Precious." Peace. Anyway, every time that person ends up in the room, I can't help but do that. But okay, so Bernard, comes out of the office, and he talks to Lenina, a little bit of bragging, he acting like, I just got an assignment from his foreship himself, and Lenina's like, "Well, that's not going to leave time for much engaging," and Bernard's like, "Oh yeah, I know. I mean, I just," and she's like, "I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about John." you know, you could already tell, if you look at the verbal communication, it's foreshadowed, but Lenina already chose up. I'm just gonna be honest. It was all in the eyes. She chose. you know, it's written all over her face. But yeah, she chose up. And so John goes in to see Mustafa, and he gets the name, the last name, Savage, because Mustafa's asking, what you want, you have a last name? He's like, "No, I'm just John." He's like, "How about Savage?" And he talks to Mustafa about roses, and Mustafa tells him how, they pretty much done away with roses because roses were counterproductive. And that time that you could have, that smelling the roses or looking at roses could have been better spent producing and consuming, and if you just think about that to today, a lot of time um it's like that. People spend more time either producing meaningless stuff or consuming the same way. Like, you know, we one thing, you can go from cosmetics if you're a woman or female, or you know, I'll even go with action figures and models. Especially if you're a so-called nerd, you see that if you watch reviews like I do, you see a back wall and shelf just full of comic models and stuff like that, stuff you ain't gonna use, you might as well have a dang on model 1970 model GI Joe, you know but you act like you so collector. But it's consumption. You just showing off the fact that you are a big time consumer. Um, when basically that time could have been put to something more productive or more creative. Your money could have been put somewhere more creative. We also find out that Mustafa is the foreship of the Western world. So if you think about the West, you can understand that this guy runs probably more, shoot, one, two, three continents, you know. But yeah. And as he's talking with John, he tells John, in our world, you can do anything you wish, you can be anything you wish, and you can have anything you wish, and you can have anyone you wish. And I thought that quote was significant because it's just like today. You can be anything you wish. Even if you want to be, if you want to be a woman, you can be a woman. If you want to be a man, you can be a man. You can have anything you want. You can. It's getting to the point where you can do anything you want, or it's leaning to that way. And you can have anyone you wish. You know, and so after that, um, after John goes to ends his talk with Mustafa, he goes to see Linda, and Linda is basically well, she's in a Soma infirmary. Bas- Basically, that's what it is, and they got her on Soma vapor or whatever. She it's like a dang on old folks methadone clinic. You know what I'm talking about? That she's just tripped out, and she sees John, and she tells him to go away. She tells him to go away. She's like, "Go away, Soma, Soma." Um, and so yeah, you can say it's a hospice, but it's a hospice with a lot of drugs. um, and he talks to the alpha in charge of, and he wants to have Linda with him, and because she's his mom, and the alpha's like, we don't allow that filthy language in here. You understand that family and parenting, anything like that is a dirty thing. Interesting, right? And the alpha tells him about Linda's Soma schedule, which will kill Linda. She's P system Manera. Um, she's already, her body's already breaking down and whatnot with the Soma, so she eventually is going to die. And after that, Bernard takes John on a tour, but as he goes on the tour, it's like a report to Mustafa, his warship, and you know John asks, where's everybody's mothers, and I mean, he sees a bunch of things, he even goes into the children, basically the children erotics class, which is, is, was wow. But I mean, you're gonna go through it today. I mean, they already socializing the children in schools. Well, at least they were before the Roman hit, but I mean, they still gonna do it. Now they probably just do it in your house without your dang on consent. But hey, it is what it is. Um and he questions why at the time the deltas need soma, and he's always, it's becoming a problem because he's always asking why, like a kid, you know. But as we know from the first part of the movie, why involves purpose, so his purpose is to ask why about this other world, um so as he goes on the tour, he goes to the fusion plant, and the alpha in charge explains how energy is made. Heliofusion energy comes from the sun and is turned into nuclear fusion energy, um, down in the depths of the earth, and then it goes back up to and makes fusion energy. And if you know anything, helio is, comes from Helios, which was a Greek god, aka Apollo, sun. And so that was interesting. And as he's there at the plant, John sees these stunning epsilons that was made that way so they can work in these fusion tubes. And then after he sees them, John wants to leave. He says he has a sickness of the spirit. He got to go. That was interesting to say that he had a sickness of the spirit. And so next is John and Bernard talk of pretty much they come out of playing a game, and they're talking about games, and then Bernard references an old game that he used to play with two sticks, and a ball, and doing it back and forth, and I was like, that's tennis. That's what I saw. And how physical games were replaced with machine games, and then I thought of video games, what I'm talking about. But this is one of my favorite scenes because John says, but no one plays Bernard, why do you call it a game? Which was, to me, that was a good question. What I'm saying? You can put that so many ways, because I mean, no one plays the game, but why do y'all call it a game if y'all don't? That's neither here nor there. That's another philosophical topic. So yeah. The next place that they go is the slumbering tour gardens, which is basically like a cemetery. And we find out that the people in the other place can stay young till they're 80 and 90, and until the metabolic strain, if you ask me, from the soma causes, as Bernard said, PPO, peaceful passing on. You know what I'm saying? And you find out that their bodies are cremated to harvest the chemicals that is in their bodies. It's like fuck it. It's like these chicks that put all that silicone in their body, and their bodies are being cremated to harvest the chemicals in their body. You get what I'm saying? So like Doom, pretty much. I mean, that's um, yeah, yeah. Jameis. I remember Jameis. You why we got to go with the dudes? But yeah, it's like Dune. When they would basically dehydrate the body to because water is scarce, so they'll dehydrate the body to even take a person's water. You know what I'm saying? How much Jameis carried 33 liters and something drachmas. Do you accept? I know. Love the movie. No, love. I'm a Dune head. Don't don't pay me no mind. Thanks, Chief. But yeah, it's like that. And so um, while they're in this place, a school of children come up, and they're with the teacher, and they start singing a song. Death is perfect, death is fun, death is good for everyone. And then another song that they were singing was We're Not Afraid of Death. And John lets us out and says, death is dark, and we miss people, and things like that. But he does it through Shakespeare, you know. And the teacher get mad. She's like, "Great, Mr. Savage. Now I got to start all over again." And after that, we find out, through Mustafa and him having a conversation with his secretary, that John disturbed a central philosophy course when he asked the question, uh, basically a Shakespeare quote from Macbeth, you know, and the female alpha secretary of Mustafa says that his attachment to his mother is unnatural, and we find out the purpose of this experiment is to see if John can adjust to basically their culture and their way of life. And it's amazing that today's Thanksgiving for some people, and this basically is an experiment of assimilation. And if you know about Thanksgiving, shoot, I don't have to tell you about King Philip and King Philip's War. You know what I'm talking about? Them people, went to the great feast apparently, and shoot, a year later, the war drum started going out. You know what I'm saying? The Narragansett, the Wampanoag, the Massachusetts, all it was done. Think about it. It was done after 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 all the old ones then tried to make peace with some people, during this great feast, and then you have the assimilation of native peoples, with the slogan, kill the Indian, save the man, the schools, that people had to go to, the Mohonk Council that Chief talks about, with like I say, at the same time they was asking the Negro question, they was solving the native question too. So hand in hand. But anyway, assimilation. That's what this whole experiment was about. And so no, Chief King Philip, what they called him King Philip. King Philip gets thirst. Oh, they were the turkey. That's what the turkey came. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, man, King Philip, AKA Metacom, it is what it is. But yeah, so Bernard talks to Helmholtz, right? And Helmholtz is just looking at him, right? And he can tell, and he says it, Bernard, you changed. Not that King Philip. I'm talking about the native King Philip, from Massachusetts. The one that they cut up his body and they had it on display for like 10 or 12 years. After that King Philip, of the First Nations, like I said, the Wampanoag, Narragansett, that region of Massachusetts, that King Philip. But yeah, that King Philip too was Spain. They did that stuff, but yeah, but basically, he says you changed, Bernard. And you can see him changing because he's getting all this type of fame, and like I was telling Sister Tracy, it's like high school. You know what I'm talking about? When somebody instantly gets popular in high school, yeah, no, for sure, already, already, G. But it's like somebody getting popular in high school, and now their head get big. You know what I'm talking about? And you can see it on them. And that's what him holding. He's like, man, you changed. And then him was like, no, where was the guy I could confide with about free thinking and free will and all that stuff? And Bernard's like, yeah, I changed. And then as he leaves Helmholtz, apartment, or what you can say, cylinder or whatever, he says, Helmholtz, you don't need to, don't talk about that talking or, word to the wise, And after that, we see Lenina talking to a female beta. The 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 cute black chick well, one of the cute black chicks in the movie, the one with the nice lips, and no, the other one had nice lips too, but she had the bigger set. I know I was watching for the wrong reasons, and she talks about how Lenina got her basically famous because she's quote unquote engaged with the savage, and she hasn't, and she's trying to figure out why he don't like me, and the female beta is like, oh well, you're totally pneumatic, what I'm talking about, and she's like, yeah, why, what's going on, what's wrong with him? So her and John go on a date, right? Basically, that's what it is. And they go to a Philly, and it's basically, they got to put their hand on this, and their genital parts and regions are being stimulated, but it's basically a porn, basically a bad porno of Romeo and Juliet. That's basically what it is, and And John's like, no, this ain't how the story go. Romeo and Juliet, they were this, and this, because he's read Shakespeare, so he can recognize the story. You know what I'm saying? It's like okay, it's like if somebody do what's a good movie? What's a good romance movie? Forget it. Y'all got the example anyway. No need. So outside of that, after that, Lenina wants, John to come into her place, and he's like, nah, she probably shouldn't, and and she's like, why? Don't you like me? Don't you, don't you like how the way I look? And just think about it. She's not she's asking surface questions. Don't you like me? Don't you like how the way I look? You know what I'm saying? Because basically that's all she needed in her culture, but he leaves, but then he comes back, and sees that Lenina's with another dude, because she presses a button and bam, self-delivery, instant instant mail, instant mail comes up at her doorstep in less than 5 seconds flat, and it looks like she's about to engage with this male, but she doesn't. Yeah, Sister Deidre, and after that, um, yeah, real art would destabilize the society. Exactly. It goes against all the codes. That's why you couldn't read Shakespeare no more. But Bernard is prepping to throw a party, right? And he's talking to Helmholtz, and he says, Helmholtz could come, but you can just look at Helmholtz, and he's like, man, I ain't feeling this. You know what I'm talking about? You can see his descent as time goes by. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Bernard talks to John, or he goes to see John because he's like, man, I got all these dignitaries. You gotta wear your savage clothes. And John's like, man, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you about Lenina. You know what I'm saying? But Bernard doesn't want to talk to him. Because he's too busy trying to prep for this party. And so the party comes around. You got all these dignitaries. Like Bernard's differences made him unstable. He was an alpha, but he was tiny and unattractive. That alone caused him to experience jealousy, which he was shameful about. Yeah, but now that he had fame, he wasn't even thinking about that no more. You know what I'm saying? And he was tiny and he was deviant and unattractive. But I mean, it didn't bother him at first. Now as we see, but you got all these different type of dignitaries, um, from like Harvard University Alpha. You got like like Her Holiness, who was a part of the Holy Sex Orgy Church and disco. you know, yeah, and just a bunch of so-called dignitaries, and they're all waiting to see the savage. And he's like that, they'll be just down. Man, he'll be right down. And Bernard goes to see John, and John's just like, man, I'm not feeling that. I'm not going down there to see him. And then you see people leave. Yeah, orgy, porgy, and disco reverence. You know what I'm saying? I just since it's disco reverence. What type of disco are we talking? Are we talking, like I say, are we talking the Donna Summer and all the I'm not good on my disco like that. Or are we talking to Blondie and whatnot? Stuff like that. What type of disco are we talking about? you know, um, peace, brother Zach. But yeah, and as they're leaving, they're making fun of Bernard. Like, man, and the lady's like, man, you get your ass out of my face, pretty much. Can't believe we came to this party. This was like, and we're gonna tell everybody about this. And so, Bernard's distraught, and sitting down, and he's just mad, and he tells everybody to leave, and and he's just like, man, it's they're gonna tell everybody. And then John comes down and he says, no, I'm sorry, man, but he tells a story of when he was in the Savage Reservation. And people laughed, everybody laughed at him because he wasn't chosen to become one of the hunters. And then Bernard asked, well, then what did you do? And he said, I hunted alone. You know what I'm saying? To me, that was gay right there. That's why I like that part. But he said, I hunted alone. And then he tells him, Bernard, there's nothing wrong with being unhappy. You know what I'm saying? And he said, don't you have a friend or something? It's like, man, they ain't my friends, and then he goes to see Helmholtz, and Helmholtz is just going off about his thoughts and his new ideas and the jingles that he's writing. And then, John sees his jingles writing, and then so does Bernard. But Bernard's like, oh man, this is bad. You know what I'm saying? This will get you locked up. And Himmels doesn't have a word to describe what he's writing. And then here comes John and he says, poetry. It's poetry. It's poetry. Well, what is this dang on poetry you talking about? And him and John are have these long night talks. And Bernard tells, please with Mustafa, and says, it's not me. He's basically snitching on John and Helmholtz. That's supposed to be your ace and your friend, and the only one that you could actually talk to, and you already snitching on him. You know what I'm talking about? And Mustafa is more interested in John, and he's not worried about that. He's like, has he engaged with anybody? It was like, and John and Bernard's like, no, he hasn't engaged. I mean, there's got to be somebody he's interested in. Mustafa's like, and he said, it's Lenina. And if you see the subtlety in, Ron O'Neal's acting, I liked it for the subtlety. He's like, got his ass. Hit that chick up, what I'm talking about? He's like, yes, the experiment can keep on going. You see his wheels turning, and yeah, Bernard is slowly turning into Tom. So I would say that. Yeah, Chief. He was the mad scientist turned world leader. Mustafa means chosen, and his last name was Mond, which means world. Yeah. Or and I'm used to saying mundo, mundo, or which is world, but in Portuguese. But yeah, Mon, and he was Yakub making the Brave New World. Yes, Huxley's father was a scientist. Now that I didn't know his father was a scientist. You know what I'm saying? But like I was telling Brother Chris, a couple of hours earlier, every time I saw, even though you said, he spent, one too many times in the Akashic records, I was like, every time I used to see his interviews, I used to think that he was just this. I'm gonna say this motherfucker's on opium. He smoked opium. He be going to dango China dens, and he on that opium. He ain't on heroin. He ain't on acid. He on that opium. Because that's just how he look. Out of such, he just look real like drugged out sometimes. Like he was there in the moment, but he wasn't really there. But yeah. And so we go to Lenina. Oh, Charles Darwin's bulldog. Interesting. We go to Lenina, and Lenina can't work. She's at the hatchery factory, and she can't work because she thinking about John, and she goes to see John, and she wants to know what's really going on, and John wants to be worthy of Lenina. That's pretty much what he tells her. He's like, I'll do anything for you, because in the savage culture, so that you're worthy of someone, you like hunt something or you give something, things of that nature. And, he just wants to show that he's worthy to have her or whatever, that he's a man pretty much, and he can make things happen. And, and Lenina wants to be taken. And, she comes up, with these Fisher Price nursery rhymes, right? Try to get on John's level, but she comes with these Fisher Price nursery rhymes, this play school poetry. I'm like, it's like you really, she's trying to engage with him, but he's like, it's pretty much you going ahead of me, you brother Antonio, but you are going ahead of me. And it says John off right, and he starts quoting Shakespeare as a condemnation. He's like, thou nameless woman, you know, whore, get thee to a nunnery. He quote Hamlet, he quote everything, and he comes with these with play school poetry, trying to have a URL rap battle with him. It's funny as hell. It's like, where do you come up with this? You ain't even on this level. He just killed you with a scheme, like loading Lux or something. He just killed you. But yeah, man, and it says, like I say, it sets John off. And then he gives, basically he gives Lenina a goodbye kiss. And he said, I did love you once. Love is madness. And then he's up. Yeah. I know, Chief. She only knows how to communicate through sex and engaging. She doesn't know any other way. You know what I'm saying? But you can see that the seed is planted. It's steadily, as you see, the seeds already been planted. That's why I said she already chose up. She just didn't know it yet. But as she's pretty much sinks into the corner, right? She looks on the bed and she sees the Shakespeare book, and after that, John had left because he had to go see his mom because his mom was, about to die. And so he goes back to that infirmary and he goes to see, Linda, who was dying. And, I think it was the alpha that said death is sociable and death is shared. Yeah, pretty much, Brother Antonio. That's what it was. And when we see Linda looked cracked out like a motherfucker. I'm sorry. She looked cracked out. Like that sober just had her, she looked like a meth addict, old meth addict. And she's in a delirious state because she's about to die. And she's, basically talking to John, like he's a kid. Well, basically going through a memory of John as a kid and telling him to say his ABCs. And, then she, almost along the lines of Sigmund Freud, not to suppress one's sexual desire because it would cause mental illness with the linens. Vitamin Coolidge. Okay. So, they start singing the ABCs together, and then she wakes up out of her delirium and tells, John to hold her, and then, she dies. And, after, they basically cremate her body, quickly, because the flaming beta that was there, right, doing the makeup, it's like, don't you want to touch her up? You could be anything you want to be here. So, that wasn't no surprise that he was there. So, John says, nah, y'all need to touch her up. And so, they put her in the capsule and then they basically cremate her body. Just like that. Linda was an example of that unanswered sexual desire. When she went to the reservation, she wasn't it. She was, when she went to the reservation, she was it because of her promiscuity in civilization. She was praised for it. Yeah, she was. But once she got to that savage reservation, man, she got her ass. Think about her being too embarrassed to return because she was unable to get an abortion on the reservation. Embarrassed the mother. Yeah, she was embarrassed to, even you see it in Thomas. He's embarrassed. It's shameful, and to me, when she's going through her soma schedule, that's why she told John to go away because she she's embarrassed again. It's like, go away, because now she's reminded that she's a mom. and she birthed a kid, you know. She was outcasted. Yeah, she was outcasted because of her promiscuity. They kicked her. They kicked her. The women got her. That girl game was strong, and then they made fun of her. But yeah, she was outcasted because of it. And so John's distraught. That his mother passed, and you know he goes to the Somers dispensary, and he tells these epsilons, because that's all that's in the line, that the Soma's bad, and then he ends, he locks himself in the dispensary and breaks all the Soma dispensary things, and the epsilons can't get their Soma, and so they start to riot. Bernard's and Helmholtz are looking for him, and then they find out where he is. And find out that there's a riot, and Helmholtz is like, yo, I'm going to go help him. Helmholtz is happy, what I'm saying? He's like, I'm going to go help him. And so this rioting is happening. You got the Epsilons calling for Soma and whatnot. And then you have the solidarity control come out, and they have, they're basically using Soma vapor to calm Soma vapor and audio to calm the epsilons, and that's basically like what you see in your protests. You got your tear gas. What I'm saying? You got your sirens. Even on your bullhorn, you got a siren. So there is sound and there is gas, even today. What I'm saying? And if you ever, not saying all of you have, but if you ever had tear gas, ever been, it's not fun, man. People will go crazy because tear gas burns like a mug, man. And if you're a G and you can take it, been there, done that. Is tear gas is not fun, but yeah. You got your gases. And so, they go through the Soma vapor, and then, the epsilons are calm and whatnot. And so they arrest, John, Bernard, and Helmholtz, and, they take them back to Mustafa's office. And, as they're raiding, getting hooked on legal drugs. Because there's so many, farmer, big farmer, they make money. They make money. We all know that, what I'm talking about. He was a true member. I think Helmholtz represented integrity, even though he accepted the culture that was given to him. He refused to deny his inner genius. I would say that, but he was always a dissenter. You know what I'm saying? And if you ask me, he questioned long before, but yeah, as they're waiting in Helmholtz's office, Helmholtz is writing poetry. Bernard is all like, oh man, I got to plead with his fortune. I went in this, what I'm saying? And John is rummaging through Mustafa's books and whatnot. And, Bernard is like, what are you doing? He said, what's that? He's like, it's Shakespeare. He was like, it looks like an antique book to me. You know what I'm saying? But, Mustafa comes in and whatnot, and, Helmholtz is like, Bernard's like, your worship, I'm sorry, they didn't listen to me. He's making all kind of plea deals. What I'm saying? Look, if Bernard was on the Force 48, that motherfucker snitch. In 5 minutes, okay? We already know this. He's snitching. He telling. Right. And Helmholtz like, man, I ain't sorry. Helmholtz is like, He just fed up with his job. He like, man, fuck this job. I ain't sorry. Yeah, I did that shit. He like the black guy that ain't sorry. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to get fired from his job. What I'm talking about. But Helmholtz was in charge of manipulating the Italian. Yeah, that's what he was in charge. He was in charge of propaganda, like Goebbels. You know what I'm talking about? With the Phillies and the jingles and whatnot. I mean, he had a natural philosophical mind, of course, Chief. Bernard was real just wine. Um, and Helmholtz found them tiring. Yeah. Yeah, man. I agree with that, Chief. Because you can tell, like I said, Helmholtz had a swag over 5,000. And you could tell, like, this motherfucker. He looking at him like, man, it ain't in you, bro. You folding like a daddy's old wallet, man. I mean, I can tell. But yeah, and when Mustafa gets to John, he's like, I know you ain't sorry. He's like, no. you know. Right. True sacrilege. For sure. But they ask, pretty much why Mustafa got all these books. And he says, with his clearance, he's able, and his conditioning, he's able to, have these things. And he says, in order to guide the people on what's right, it's important to understand the lure of what is wrong, which was interesting. You know what I'm talking about? Like I say, Mustafa was mad scientist, but man, philosophical in that point. And yeah, it's like those that are privy to certain documents and records that we are not, privy to. You know what I'm saying? The secrets, the secrets that they keep, like the Vatican. You know what I'm saying? And what they have, and they, in their libraries and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that remains true. You know what I'm saying? There are many things. And they can't stay, in the other place. So, Mustafa says, y'all free to go, to any other free islands. He names off Hawaii, Jamaica, and Tahiti, um, but Helmholtz, really, Helmholtz was what Bernard wanted to be. Bernard hated the state because he couldn't fit in. Helmholtz, Washington did because he was too strong for it. Chief, this. I told you his swag was, look, Dick Anthony Williams played the hell out that role. Because I tell you, his swag is over 5,000. It's in him. He pimping in the game. I mean, it's within him to be. You know what I'm talking about? And you want to be this, but it ain't in you, bro. You want to be this, but you it's not in you to be that. The game ain't in you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Look, but yeah. So Helmholtz chooses, he's excited. He's like, you got any places more desolate? He was like, you got any place more desolate, more solitudinal and whatnot. And Mustafa said, yeah, we got the Falklands and Greenland and Antarctica. He was like, yeah, I want something like that. I could write anything I want. He want to go someplace cold. And he's like, well, bye. It's like, good luck, Bernard. He's happy. And he said, John, it was a pleasure. He's off. He's ready to do his thing. Bernard chooses Tahiti. He's like, yeah, Tahiti. He's somber and sad, but he's like, they got nomadic females. Yeah, that sounds about right. And John, Mustafa's like, well, you can't go back to the Savage Reservation, and you can't go to the Free Islands because you're gonna start a revolution there. So John's like, well, I just want to be alone, and so he he's basically placed in a lighthouse, a literal lighthouse on the coast, and you see John, coming up from fishing, and he's basically a tourist attraction, and he goes into his house and he sees Mustafa there, and Mustafa's like, man, um, oh yeah, Bernard went out like a wimp, brother Antonio, and shame just like Thomas, yeah. Um, he got so hung up on external validation that misery was on, yeah, pretty much. But Mustafa's like, wow, you make your own food, you make furniture and you make your own clothes. And John's asking him, you want something to eat? He's like, no thanks. I had artificial scrambled cholesterol, which eggs, but it's artificial scrambled cholesterol. That's what it is. That sounds nasty. but but yeah, and Mustafa calls him Robinson Crusoe, and John's like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh, no, a book you've never read before, but I'm sure there's a Robinson Crusoe in your Shakespeare. You know what I'm talking about." And Mustafa says, I see you, he got a whip hanging up. He said, I see you whip yourself. What, you believe you got, some bad spirits in you, and he's like, man, I believe in my spirit, what I'm saying? And things of that nature and whatnot. And, and Mustafa's like, so you want all that? You want, pain, you want love, and the fact that you could be jilted by your lover and this and that. And John's like, yeah, I claim all of it. I want it all. You know what I'm saying? And Mustafa leaves, and then we see Darwin Bonaparte. He's basically shooting a filly of John, and he's basically taking doing taking camera photos or video of him, and he gets back to Mustafa, and he's like, when I'm done with this, the savage is gonna look charming or whatever. And Mustafa's like, no, that ain't what we here for. And then he comes with the word ridiculous. That's what he's gonna look like. And so at the the final editing of the film, you see that John's made to look like a joke. And while they're watching this filly, Lenina's watching it too, and everybody's laughing. And Lenina just stands up and is like, he's not like that. She gets upset and whatnot, and pretty much leaves and whatever. And after that, John gets more fame, and then more people crowds his home. And as they go up, pretty much the people go up to the gate in like a crazed stupor. John's like, leave me alone, I just want to be alone, leave me alone. And then he sees Lenina in the crowd, and then Lenina professes her love to him, through Shakespeare and whatnot. And he understands, and because of all these people around John's house, the solidarity control comes back, and they do the gas vapor thing on everybody, and everybody's knocked out, and John's looking for Lenina in his throughout the gas and whatnot. Mustafa asked him if he wanted the right to be unhappy. When John said yes, he was like, I'm gonna have to destroy this food. Yeah, because he was a dissenter, what I'm talking about. And as he's looking through, looking for her, amongst, the fall, the everybody that fell out because of the gas or whatever. He finally finds her, and he kisses her, and he thinks that she's dead. And so because she's gone, he gonna go the Romeo route, what I'm saying? Like in Shakespeare, he's going to Rome. He said, as so will I, what I'm talking about. And so, he leaves and goes to his house, and we see that she wakes up, and the Gamma is talking to the Alpha that secures everything at John's house. And he's saying that Lenina Hustler, she woke up and now she's talking about love and marriage and wanting to be alone here. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, hey, we gotta take her to the rehabilitation center or whatever, and because we can't have that. But he goes into, the Alpha goes into the house and see, that John committed suicide, and he killed himself. He lynched himself. He hung himself. And then we go to Mustafa and his talking to his Alpha secretary, and saying, the experiment was basically the files were shredded and deleted and things of that nature. And then Mustafa asked, I wonder if could have been another way, and the secretary is like, well, you tried to rehabilitate him. I mean, yeah, back to remedial conditioning classes. Thank you, Sister Tracy. But yeah, she's like, man, you tried to basically assimilate him to the culture. I'm saying he didn't want it. And he references John to Prospero in the play Caliban. I never read it, but and he tries to explain to his secretary, who Prospero was. He's like, he was a magician, who people wanted to civilize. And she's like, well, I don't understand. And he was like, no, but John did. You know what I'm saying? And there was, just some wisdom in that line that he said. That's why I like his character, because he gave some good lines. And so she leaves. Because she was trying to get the D. You know what I'm saying? But you see right on there, he was playing about it. It's like, nah, that be all. He kisses the head. Bam, I'm talking about. And she just got through talking about one of the many ways of kissing, and he just kissed her head, and she was feeling a pimp. She was feeling super fly. Give me love now. Okay, but before I got off on tangent, he's reading poetry. Well, not poetry, but I guess it's Shakespeare. And as he's doing that, you see John's hanging body, as he's reading. And that's the end of the movie. Which, was, like I say, it was good, man. You know what I'm saying? I love that 1980s version. Great performances. And it was a great like I said, I love the way people gave lines and subtlety in the acting. You know what I'm saying? And it's an amazing movie because it reigns true to today. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this movie was made in the 30s. Well, this was made in the 80s, but the book was made in the 30s. And just look, the insight, and people don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? They don't see it and be like, man, that's true to today. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know what I'm talking about? And I mean, I just liked I like the black men that was acting. They was really giving some masculinity, some testosterone in the acting, some player in the acting. You know what I'm talking about? You saw it. I saw it. They couldn't help it. It was just on them. It was in them and it was on them. You know what I'm talking about? It seemed like he was torn up about it. Like it was a waste. He knew that this is a man who could be reasoned with, not just a mindless expendable savage. Like if their circumstances were different, they could have been friends, kind of thing. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. And so he was like, man, if you ask me, he was like, man, that was a peer of mine. You know what I'm saying? You know, or compatriot. You know what I'm saying? That could understand me and I can understand him and whatnot. It's like, man, I just lost a friend. You know what I'm saying? May have looked at him like an experiment, but he was really a friend. You know what I'm saying? That's why he felt somber, you know? It's like, man, he's gone. Dang. Now I can't visit him no more. Or, go back and forth with him. You know what I'm saying? Anything. Yeah. Intellectual equals. That's really what it was. And I mean, it's fun. It's fun that way. They're both on different sides of the spectrum, but there's a respect there. There's a respect of one's adversary in that moment. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what makes this movie, movie good. You know what I'm talking about? And insightful. I mean, it rings true to today. If you just look, you see the writings written on the wall and things of that nature. Your feelies is your pornography. Your your the sex education in schools. Is basically your erotics course. Like you see in there, and things of that nature, what I'm talking about, and the glorification of engaging and having multiple sets, promiscuity and everything. It's today, what I'm talking about. Jingles are commercials and entertainment, yeah, what I'm talking about. That's what they are. You know what I'm saying? Everything's for consumption and production, but your production is folly. It's fake because you're not really producing anything. Like him holds. He produced something, but then he had to delete it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're gonna produce something and then you're just gonna throw it away because that's just a part of consumption. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really giving to the society in a sense. You're just faking it, like you are. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. you know. But it's like I say, man, it's good. Just like 84, 1984, it's just like that. You know what I'm talking about? So will Mustafa be a 10%er or an oligarch, or are they one and the same? Well, I would say, in my opinion, he would probably be an oligarch because he Mustafa ain't on no penny any hustle. You know what I'm talking about? He's a scientist. You know what I'm saying? And he's devious with it. He's doing this. He's basically doing it for the culture. You know what I'm saying? He's basically doing this to see if this variation fits because they can come out with a new model. You know what I'm saying? And make more strange. You know what I'm talking about? Like Chief said, he's being Yakub in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's adding to the gene pool. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to add to the gene pool. Pretty much. Would you say Mustafa had to distort what John represented because John was a symbol of the idea of a free mind? Yeah, he had to distort that because it would destabilize the culture of the other place. So yeah, Mustafa's job as war leader was a punishment. I can dig it. He didn't look happy at his. He didn't look happy at his job. I could see that. He got up to the top, and and the most fun he had, pretty much, was doing this experiment. He wouldn't have me doing anything else. But when this, like I say, when this stuff was going down, he was like, yes, I got something to play with. This is what I really want to do. You know what I'm saying? And now that it's all come to an end, now I'm bored. Now I got to go back to the bullshit. This was fun. I enjoyed going back and forth with John. I enjoyed doing this experiment and seeing things and things of that nature. Now I don't got nothing to do. Now I got to read again. I don't have that physical um, interaction with somebody that I can really battle with, that can really play my mind game of chess. You know what I'm talking about? Um, he didn't maneuver into that position. When you read the book, he was caught um, experiments and was given the choice of exile or one of the 10 world leaders. Dang. Well, that's peace, peace, brother Logan and sister Esme. Um, let's call doing the experiment. Okay. Well, yeah, I never got the book, but yeah, I can believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he was, and he tells you, he tells, well, in part one, he tells him, I was like you. You know what I'm saying? I was just like you. I did, I was doing those things, but man, 1 to 10 already, um, uh, yeah. The scientist aspect of Mustafa was seemed so contradictory. He walked a fine line between maintaining the status quo and performing such a novel experiment. Yeah, but he was conditioned for it. You know what I'm saying? So of course he's able to walk that fine line. He was a deviation from the cookie color. That's different. So it's wrong. Priest type of character. Hmm. hmm, hmm, You know. But yeah, for sure. You know what I'm talking about. And that's 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 what made his character so good. You know what I'm saying? That's what made him so cool. you know. So yeah, man. He look. That's being his fortune was his prison. Maybe it's like the imprisonment of Obatala. You know what I'm talking about? Just thought about it. He high up on the throne, but he high up on the mountain, but he can't come down the mountain. and the only way he can have fun was through this experiment. It's sort of like that. He wanted to visit his friend Shago, which you could probably say his job, and maybe I'm probably going way left field and making a foul, but making a foul ball. But yeah, that's what it sounds like, pretty much. If you want to go that route, but yeah. Um, but peace, Tanika D. So yeah, this was a good movie. You know what I'm saying? Good two-parter. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, light bulb just came on, just like that. I was like, just thought about it, but it was a good movie. Yeah, I don't, I don't complain about it. I do this for the love. I don't care about likes but do like and subscribe, just subscribe and share. I don't care, but I'm just doing the surface. I'm serving right now. I don't care about all of that, But yeah, he was in prison. Figured out how to still play his game under the guise of social advancement. Exactly. You see, he was able to still do what he loved in this experiment because, like you say, he was called doing experiments. He liked doing experiments. So he came up with, oh, I'm gonna do this as an for the social, as a social experiment. But nah, this I'm doing this for myself to have fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, he that's what made him so that's what made him so good. He was having fun. Now he couldn't have no fun no more. you know. So yeah, this was cool, So next week, we are doing, well, I'm not doing I'll tell you that right now. Next week we're doing the movie Sylvia. It's a Nollywood movie, and it's on Netflix. And it's a like I said, it's a Nollywood movie, which that's should be interesting, and it will be done by Sister Tracy. This is her, like I said, this is her baby. She gonna pull out all the stops on it, and so I'm just gonna sit back. Like I said, I'm in the producer's chair on this one, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And that's what's happening next week. So watch the movie. You know what I'm saying? I've never watched it, so I'm definitely sure enough gonna watch it and see the obsession and spiritual warfare that's going to be portrayed in the movie. So that should be interesting, and I'm glad that a woman is giving it, so you can see something. See something different, from a feminine perspective. So I'm glad she's on it. You know what I'm talking about? And nice mixing it up. It would be great to see. Yeah. So we go see Queens in the house. Show how Queens won it. You know what I'm talking about? I don't believe that. It's all about Brooklyn around here. But come on, Queens. Shoot, where you find such a woman in America? The land is so big. Where should we go? Los Angeles or New York? Where will they decide? We go to New York. But where do where do you go in New York? To find a woman fit to be a queen. Queens, Queens didn't look that bad, but I mean, so that's what we go see. We go see Ian Tracy, give this, she's excited and passionate about this movie. So and she will deliver on it. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm interested in seeing it, because just the fact that it's a Nollywood film. I don't do them often, because personally, to me, they be all over everywhere, and then I get confused. So this should be interesting. So yeah. So that's exactly. See, my name is Precious. She already on it. So that's next week. We, like I say, doing Sylvia on it, and Sylvia. That's cool. You know what I'm talking about. And all y'all watch it and see what y'all come up with. It's a new, it's a new movie, new genre, pretty much, and got some spirituality to it. You know what I'm talking about? So I mean, it's definitely gonna should stimulate your mind. You know what I'm talking about? So we, that's what we on next week, and get hype. You know what I'm talking about? Get hype. Because this is her first go round. So it should be good. Yeah. So Sakura, it should be just your type of movie. Shoot, me personally, I'm waiting for the for this gangster TV series to come out. It's South African. You know what I'm talking about. You know how the kinfolk do. You know how the kinfolk do. That's another talk. But you know how the kinfolk do. You see how they blessed with it. I love my South African films. Me personally. So yeah, I ain't seen a real good South African gangster film at least in that genre, since me personally, what was it called, Jerusalem. Um, that was a cool gangster flick in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I liked it for what it was worth. I remember just picking it. I have it on DVD, so I picked it up. No, down south, I was in Walmart. Was bored. You in the country, you bored. Sometimes you just bored as hell. And I liked international films, and this was a South African one, and I just picked it up, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." You see it's about these two homies, making it big in Joburg. You know what I'm talking about? They were from the country, and then they come to Joburg, and then they get big. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, man. Um, see, he saw it. See, I knew I liked you for some type of reason. We can look. You be on the gangster flicks. This is why I like him. I like that. Yeah, you, yay. That boy good. you know. But yeah, man. That was a good movie. Shoot. What was another African movie I used to big up? Because they spoke French. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, now I remember. Viva Riva. That's what it was called. Viva Riva. That's another pretty much a gangster flick that I like. Um, an African gangster film that I like. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. You know. It's on the West Coast. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was a cool little film. But yeah, that's what you know. But yeah, we on the Nollywood side of the game next week. you know. Which, not saying Nollywood don't come out with no good ones, because my favorite one is a one about this chick that was pretty much raised by she became a daughter of Yemoja. And yeah, I'm on Eja. And it's funny because the guy in it, he's always asking the priest, he's like, when am I going to get white? I really want a wife. And the priest is like, if you get the hell on my goddamn face, quit annoying me. Then I tell you to go to the river and and do what I tell you to do. Why are you bugging me? It's funny. It's funny. Look, I like it just to see the priest get annoyed and tell him to just go away. But yeah, that was a Nollywood film I really liked. But then even that one was all over everywhere because but it was good. It was a good premise. Um, there's a South African film called Hard to Get. It's pretty action packed for sure. You know, um, yeah. I've never seen that one. I'm about to see it. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I got to be on my Top Boy, and I got to finish that. I got to finish Top Boy. You know how them British Jamaicans. They ride around and get it up in London. And I love them because they wear the badge on their mug. They you see this all through the movie, all through the series. So I'm like, yeah, that's how we do. So yeah. Top Boy is cool, from Summer House and all that and whatnot. So yeah, like I say, I love my gangster flicks, So yeah, but that's what we doing next week. We changing it up, we switching it up. Yeah, Sister Tracy, I am a Nollywood fan, so I'm excited. I really enjoyed Obi Ime Lonye. Ime Lonye. Okay. I sometimes break him up a bit. That's odd. But The Mirror Boy was really good. His series was crazy, lovely, cool. Yeah. Bruv, I know, right? How you say it, bruv and in it. But I have an American accent, so it's in it, So yeah, you want to say bruv, but I can't because we got bruh. So it's like bruh. I can't say bruh. It just don't sound right. It don't roll off my tongue. I don't got that English accent, so it don't roll off my tongue very well. So I got to say bruh and ain't it, not in it, but ain't it. So yeah, but yeah, what I'm talking about. We gonna get into it. What I'm talking about, and things of that nature. So I'm glad we are giving the people what they want, with this next one. And that's what we on, man. Like I say, man, we gonna keep on giving it to you. And so give thanks everybody. Give thanks to Chief. He did a live before this one on kissing. It's like sexy. He was cool. You know, Actually, when he was talking about kissing, it reminded me of the Kama Sutra. The movie, the movie, the movie. And the girls kissing. From different type of ways of kissing. And yes, I still love that movie, and I love it for the wrong reasons. But yeah, she was teaching them how to kiss and things of that nature. So when he was talking about it, it made me think of that movie. Love that movie. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, those are some new movies you can check out, Sister Tracy, for sure. But yeah, so give thanks, Chief, because, some of us probably want to up our kissing game. Some of us try to take notes like, okay, so this is okay, so the kiss to the frontal lobe is this? Oh, man, this is going to really help me out. I'm going to really up my, okay, so it's like a dance? Oh, shoot, I know, me, I love to dance. So, ooh, So should I go half tongue or full tongue? See, that's the 10% right there. You find some information like kissing, and then you are really manipulating just to, basically to really cheat a chick to feel something that really ain't there. You being manipulative in that moment. So I'm not using this to really bond and and really form something real. I'm really manipulating them to get what I want. I've been kissing you a certain way just to that's being a 10% right there. Knowing something like that to be manipulative, to do that just to manipulate a woman to I know, right? You gotta be careful. She'll snatch your soul. Damn succubus. Gotta be careful now. There's some succubi around here. Some sirens, some succubus. You kissed the wrong one. They'll snatch your spirit. Yeah. Peace, brother Antonio. But yeah, you you gotta be careful, changing the souls and whatnot. So yeah. So, but I'm about to head on out. This going on good enough. So give thanks everybody, and we will see. Well, I will see y'all on Shabbat, and shoot, enjoy the rest of y'all strong, and look forward to meeting y'all. This at the end of the strong for Shabbat, and then we got the solutions call, which is always interesting, you know. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. Screwed up, click, you know. SUC till I die, because that's all I ever will be. You know, y'all know what screwed up, click. Just Texas, you know what I'm talking about. I know Sister Sequoia and Brother Reddy know what I'm talking about, you know. But yeah. So thank you. Thanks, Chief. And hey, peace everybody.